Hello and welcome back to a top 10 video. It's been a really long time since I've posted one of these, but we're back with the top 10 Lego video games. It's literally been like a year at least since I've done a top 10, but I'm bringing them back for Tuesday's slot as a possible video. As you can see, as I know I already mentioned, we're doing top 10 Lego video games for today's top 10. Because I've been into those recently. I've been playing a few. I've always been into them really though. I've always enjoyed them, but I've gotten back into them recently since there was a Steam sale that allowed me to purchase a fair chunky chunk of them. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this top 10. Disclaimer before we start though: the game Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga is disqualified from this list because it is basically just Lego Star Wars and Lego Star Wars 2 as a one game. So we are not classing the Complete Saga as a separate game, therefore it is not eligible to be in the list. Lego Star Wars and Lego Star Wars 2 are, and the other Lego Star Wars games, but just not the Complete Saga. Anyways, like I said, disclaimers out the way, let's jump into the first entry on our list. Number 10. Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes is our number 10 entry on the list. I have not played this game as much as quite a few of the others on the list. I do now have it on Steam. I haven't actually got round to playing it yet, but I will do so at some point. So my limited experience with the game has been on the version on the Wii. To my knowledge, this is the first game that was a Lego game that actually had voices. So credit where credit's due. That is an achievement, considering all the other games did not have that. My issues with the game is it's focused around Batman again, as the first Batman game was, and it's to the point where it's got Batman in the title. They didn't do a Marvel superheroes thing. They didn't make it about a specific they made it about a specific superhero. They didn't do just like DC superheroes. They made it specifically Batman 2 DC superheroes. But the focus isn't as much on Batman. They make the gimmick Superman. Superman is literally just like the game's gimmick. And it's just like, why would you want to play as Batman when you could play as Superman, considering what Superman can do compared to Batman in the game based on like his Lego powers and such. It just seems unbalanced in its direction. The game is okay from what I remember. I remember that the Flash was pretty glitchy, and I really don't think there was that many other quote-unquote DC superheroes. I'm pretty sure it was limited to about the Justice League and Batman and Robin, because Batman and Robin are like the main two. And that was just an excuse really for them to be able to put like Lex Luthor as a villain. But yeah, it's still a good game, it's still a good Lego game, so it's coming in at number 10 on the list. Number 9. Lego Indiana Jones: The Original Adventures is coming in at number 9 on the list. It's been a very long time, even longer than my previous entry, since I've actually played this game, and I've never played the sequel, which included the Crystal Skull levels. I'm not sure I even finished the first one, to be honest. But I remember it, enjoyed it. It was pre-voices, which is not an issue. I don't have a problem with the original style of portraying voices in the game. But I remember it being a decent amount of fun. You basically just played through the game. It did rely heavily on the films. I know it is based off the films, obviously, but there were moments in the levels that if you hadn't seen the films, I feel like you wouldn't have been able to get past the game. At the time of playing it, I was playing it on my computer, my PC. I don't think I had a legit copy ever. I still don't, actually. It's not one of the ones I picked up on Steam. And my brother was playing it on the other computer, because I have my own separate one, and he uses my mum's. And we were on, like, the final level of Last Crusade, and it's like, oh, pick the chalice. And I was like, oh, it's clearly this one, because I've seen the film. And it was, like, the one bronze chalice amongst all the gold and silver ones. And if you'd picked another one, it was just like an instant death, and you just kept, like, had to just try again over and over and over, which is basically what my brother had to do because he hadn't seen the film. So, considering Lego's target audience, I'm not sure how well that actually worked out. But as a game, it was good. Another thing that let it down is the lack of characters that they could have used, because Indiana Jones has its, like, main, obviously it has Indiana Jones, and then there's, like, the love interest per movie, and the funny sidekick in some of them. Actually, no, there's a funny sidekick in all of them. You got his dad in one, you got Short Round in one, you got, the guy who plays Gimli in one, I don't remember the actor's name, John Rhys Davies, that's it. Is in one, or I think he's in two actually. He's in 1 and 3, isn't he? Yeah. So he pops up. But there's not really that many other notable characters. So you ended up with just like Nazi officer, Nazi guy with bazooka, and stuff like that. So the lacking of characters didn't help for me. But yeah, all in all, it was still a good game. Number 8. Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars, coming in at number 8 on the list. Another one that I don't think I ever actually got to the end of the game on. I did get a lot of the way through. I definitely finished all of the story, and was definitely making some good progress. This is actually quite a good game. It has the double hub, which is nice, allowing you to go to both the Republic ship and the Separatist ship. I believe it's specifically the Invisible Hand, which is General Grievous's ship from Revenge of the Sith, if you didn't know. And yeah, it's got a good mix of characters. Again, like with the previous entry, you do have to have seen the Clone Wars series to actually get a grasp of the plot. Instead of making it as like a linear levels though, they did a weird branching level select thing, which I didn't like as much, because after you beat the initial level of the game, you then could branch off into any 3 levels, but there wasn't like a set path to follow. It wasn't like, oh, here's Indiana Jones, the first film, you've played through the first film, now let's play through the second film. It was, no, you can go along the path in whatever way you wanted. And then there was a cheeky bonus level with the Zillo Beast, which was actually another pretty cool level, so no complaints there. I also enjoyed the fact that they added a whole host of expanded universe characters as unlockables to the game, that weren't, well, some were expanded universe and some were just like, they're not in the Clone Wars, but we're going to include them anyway. So you could get like Han Solo and Darth Vader without his helmet, which was the first, even for the games that had Darth Vader as a playable character. And I think you even got like people from, oh, what's his name, like Starkiller, possibly? The apprentice that Darth Vader has in Force Unleashed as a playable character, and people like that. So it was quite a good mix of expanded universe characters. And generally the game was pretty good. As LEGO games go, it wasn't glitchy, which is always a plus. There's been an occasional few ones that have been lacking in the polishedness, let's say. But yeah, this game is all in all pretty good. Number 7. Lego Jurassic World, coming in at number 7 on the list, is one of the newest entries in the Lego franchise. I have this on Steam. I got it for Christmas about a year and a half ago. and I played through the entirety of the first film, and the first level of Lost World, possibly. So again, another one I haven't finished. I didn't even finish story mode. But it was pretty good, and the main gimmick, I'll admit, the main gimmick sold me. The fact that you could play as Lego dinosaurs. And from what I could tell, from playing the small amount of it that I have, it's very true to the movies. So that's always a plus. And it's got those nice expansive hub pods that I like from the new Lego games, that allow you to just go around Isla Nublar, as it is in this one, and have a good old time. I believe you can do so on Isla Sorna as well, I'm not really sure. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about this one, because I haven't finished it, but I did enjoy it, what I played of it, and it was pretty good. So yeah, number 7, Jurassic World.
Number 6.
Lego Pirates of the Caribbean is our number 6 entry. Another one that I played on the Nintendo Wii, for the most part. Another pretty good entry, pre-voices. So classic Lego miming, voicey noises that they make. And these were pretty good. I don't think I actually 100%ed into the game, but I did get a sizable chunk through the levels, and there was a decent amount of levels in that game, because you could play through all 4 Pirates of the Caribbean films. I know the 5th film is on the way, so maybe we'll get a Lego Pirates of the Caribbean 2. Fingers crossed, maybe that'll happen. Hopefully that film's good too. But yeah, the levels were pretty decent. There's a decent host of characters from Pirates of the Caribbean that you can play as, which also helped. So there was never lacking in that area. But yeah, it was all in all a pretty fun game. Decent hub, decent things to do. Like I said, I think it was 24 levels. So that's 24 things, 24 levels in which you have to do mini kits. Was it True Pirate in that, where you get like the money thing bonus? Red bricks, gold bricks, I assume. Was it gold bricks in Pirates of the Caribbean? I'm gonna say gold bricks, and hope that I'm not a complete idiot. But yeah, I was a fan. I didn't play it as much, purely because it was just on the Wii. But hopefully at some point soon I will be able to get the game on Steam and continue onward into the 100% of the game. So yeah, that should be good.
Number 5.
Lego Star Wars, the video game, is at number 5 on our list. Lego Star Wars, the original Lego Star Wars, is very dear to my heart. It is the first of the Lego games ever, and this is the first one I ever played. I had it on PC originally, and then I had it on PS2. I'm pretty sure I've beaten that on 100% on PS2. I actually did beat it 100%, so yeah, that's pretty good. I know it's lacking in standards compared to some of the more modern ones, but it was the start of its thing. It started the franchise of Lego movie-based video games, and it did a pretty good job of it, to be completely honest. My main issue with the game is the fact that they couldn't squeeze a 6th level out of Attack of the Clones, and that's more just me wanting my 18th level. Well, no, to be fair, there was 18 levels, because there was a bonus level which allowed you to play as Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper, which you got them as unlockable characters. But for some reason, they couldn't squeeze a 5th, only could just squeeze 5 levels out of Attack of the Clones, which sucks, but oh well. But yeah, it was a good game. Cool things considered, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. The ship levels were not the best. The pod racer was air, because most of them were auto-scrollers. You didn't get like the free movement that you get these days and such. But it was still a thing. And it wasn't too bad. So yeah, I'm not going to complain. I think the game was good for what it was. Being the first of its kind, they definitely set the bar high with that one. There's definitely some that haven't reached, haven't lived up to the potential, shall we say. Harry Potter being the one that comes to mind. The Harry Potter ones were not that good, in my opinion. Apologies if they're like your favourites, but you're not going to see them on this list because they're pretty shit. But yeah, Lego Star Wars, the original video game, I think it's just called the video game, is here at number 5.
Number 4.
Lego The Lord of the Rings is coming in at number 4 on our list today, and that is actually the game I'm currently playing through on Steam. I have played through the majority of it on the Wii in the past. I didn't get to 100%, again, because it was on the Wii, and I am not a big fan of playing on the Wii. The nunchucks are the worst. Let's just leave it at that. But I've got it on Steam. I've played it for about a week at this point. I've finished story, and I'm about 50% into the game. And I'm making some pretty good progress. My main issues with the Lego Lord of the Rings game is it's very, very glitchy. Namely, the sections where you are forced to play as Treebeard are extremely glitchy. Treebeard likes to walk into things and then fly away into the sky on both the levels in which you have to play as him. There is also another level which I detest in this game, which is the one where you are forced to fight Shelob. The Shelob fight is fine. It's Kirith Ungol, I believe the level is called. You have to fight Shelob, and then you fight your way down from the Kirith Ungol tower, and then you're in this huge courtway bit, and it's the worst. Because there's a bit of the level that always gets me every time, and I'm just like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Because it pranks you. You're supposed to use your elven cloak as Frodo, but he's not wearing his elven cloak. So I'm like, oh no, clearly I don't have that power up right now. But you need to, and I keep getting stuck there, and it's really sad. But nonetheless, that might just be me. There are a few other ones where the level design is not what it could be in this game. The Battle of Pelennor Field is the other level that comes to mind that is a bit lacking. It's just a boss. It's literally just boss fights and auto-scrolling sections. Auto-scrolling sections are not fun. I'll talk about that in a second. But literally, the level after there's an auto-scrolling section. There is a fight with the Witch King, and then there is a fight with like 5 elephants, and that's the whole Battle of Pelennor Fields. And I feel like it would have been cooler to see it from Gandalf's perspective and not see it from Rohan's perspective, but oh well. My final quip about this one, obviously, as mentioned earlier, was the auto-scrolling sections, because they are the worst. Because they stick mini-kits on them, and you have to try and jump for the mini-kits and time it as you're running at the camera. And they genuinely put them at the very, very end of the level. And they're not always the shortest of levels. That being said, I feel like this is a very good game. As LEGO games go, the glitchiness is not helpful. I do not appreciate, but other than that, it's pretty good. So it's number 4 on my list.
Number 3.
Lego Batman the video game is coming in at the number 3 spot, the original Batman game on the PlayStation 2. Oh, it's good, guys. It's a good one. I really enjoy playing through it every time. There is a unique selling point to this game that I will come back to and talk about in a bit. But first, let me talk about the Batman levels. Batman levels are awesome. There are 18 Batman levels, I think, 3 of which are based around using vehicles. There is a car level, a boat level, and a plane level, and they are decently executed, which is awesome. We like that. And then we get to the unique selling point of the game. The fact that then you can go over to Arkham Asylum and do 18 levels as the villains of the game, and that's how you unlock them in the game, and it's amazing. You get to play as all of them: the Joker, the Penguin, the Riddler, Clayface, Two-Face, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, Harley Quinn, all of that, all the gang. And it's pretty good, guys. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. And yeah, it's just well-rounded. They did it really well. It's definitely one of my favourites. I don't think I ever actually finished it 100%. I think there was always characters that I couldn't get, or something I couldn't do in the game that meant I could never fully finish it. But I always came pretty close. I did a pretty decent way through the game. I did all the story and free play and racked up the mini kits and such. The Batman gimmick of having different suits works in this game because you don't have Superman, you don't have other characters that you can just, let's just switch out to this other hero who can do these 6 things that Batman can do and fly. And it's just like, you can use Batman to do really cool things in this game. You can change into the glide suit, you can change into the bomb suit, you can change into the suit that shoots sonic waves that shatter the glass, and it's really cool. And they did it so well, and I'm really pleased that they did it so well, and I just love how they did it. And I'm happy. I'm a pleased boy with how Lego Batman became on the game release. Whatever, I don't really know what I'm saying anymore, guys. But yes, it was good. I would recommend it if you haven't played it, because it is one of the highlights of the LEGO series. Trust me, these next 3 entries, this and the next 2 entries, are definitely highlights, in my opinion, of the LEGO franchise. So yeah, stay tuned for what's to come.
Number 2.
LEGO Marvel Superheroes is our number 2 entry on the list. This is one of the newer ones. I know it has a sequel now, so it's technically not one of the newest ones, but I haven't actually played the sequel, LEGO Marvel Avengers, so this one, for me, is actually the top of the superhero genre for the LEGO games. It is so well executed that it is just awesome. I haven't finished it, I will confess. I haven't actually finished the game. I actually didn't even finish story mode, purely because when I was playing through the game, my game decided to glitch out on the final level every single time. And there's a section when you're on the helicarrier and Galactus is there, and he's like, rah rah rah, I'm Galactus, and he's wrecking the ship, and you have to use like the Human Torch or someone to laser off a gold brick from a platform so that you can build on it. And for some reason I just couldn't laser the platform, and therefore was stuck at that section of the level permanently. I was playing on keyboard at the time, which may have had something to do with it, but I will be going back to it with controller and playing through the whole game again, because I want to experience it again, and I will hopefully be able to get past that section. But yeah, the way it was done was so well, and the way that they literally included every superhero, which is another reason why the sequel Marvel Avengers Lego Marvel Avengers is a step down for me, because they were able to, in this first one, they were able to follow through the plots of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like Avengers is, but they were able to keep all the expanded universe as a thing in the game, so you could still play as like all the X-Men characters, you could play as the Fantastic Four, you could play as all the random characters that they have in Marvel, you could even play as like Howard the Duck, you could play as Stan Lee, who I believe is still in Avengers. If he's not, then Avengers is really bad. But Stan Lee, you could play as Spider-Man, you could play as Ant-Man, you could play as all the classics, Deadpool, Nick Fury, Phil Coulson, he's a cool guy. And then all the, obviously the classics, like the Avengers, so like Captain America, Thor, people like that, Hulk, Iron Man. And just all in all, the game was really good and really well polished, and I really enjoy playing it. It was fun. It kind of sucked that I couldn't get past the end of the game, but hopefully on my second attemptage through the game I will be able to overlook that tragedy of last time and plough forward to the future with high hopes and high spirits, and be able to enjoy the game to its fullest.
Number 1.
Lego Star Wars 2, the original series, is our number 1 pick for the list. Woo! The pinnacle of Lego games was debuting on the PS2, and oh my god, was it good. There is literally not enough good things to say about this game. Gold bricks are cool, and you have to collect them. There was just so many characters, including a thing that allowed you to play as all the characters from the previous Lego game, Lego Star Wars 1, via an unlockable thing. You could play as literally everyone who appeared in the original Star Wars series. You could... I don't know what else to say about it, it's just so good. The ship levels were a lot less clunky, because you could actually play as ships instead of just being on an auto-scrolling thing, like the previous Lego Star Wars game. You, unlike the Batman game, were limited to the ships, the same 3 types of ship each time, which was good because then you got more out of them, I feel like. He had a good hub world, it had rideable, it introduced rideable vehicles and such in-game. The levels were super detailed and super well done. It had good puzzles, it had good boss fights, it was just so well executed. And yeah, it even had the bounty hunter missions. They were awesome and fun, and you could do those where you could go and get I'm not sure what the objective of the bounty hunter missions was now off the top of my head. It was like to rescue characters and stuff, or capture them or something. But I remember they were fun, and you could go to like talk to Jabba and stuff. Yeah, and that was back in the classic days of let's buy our characters in the menu of the game instead of having to buy them when you find them in the hub world somewhere and beat them up a bit kind of game. That was always a fun thing to do, beating them up in the hub world. Love doing that. No, I love them all there in the menu, and you can literally just scroll across and then there they are, and bye. Quite a few of the old Lego games did it like that, and they did it quite well, and I don't mind them the fact that they did it like that. So no complaints from me. And yeah, I don't really know what else I can really say about this game other than it was insanely fun, and if you haven't played it for any reason, you are sorely missing out, and you should go play it right now. But yeah, that about wraps up this top 10 today. Hopefully you did enjoy listening to me ramble on about my top 10 favourite Lego video games. If you did, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and tune in next Tuesday if you want to see some, maybe another top 10, maybe a bit of Ultimate Marvel, or maybe even some Rocket League. Who knows what you're going to get? It's a mixed bag on Tuesdays these days. Smite in this space and Pokemon TCG will be coming out as normal. Thank you for being patient with me, for being able to take a while to get this out, because these top 10s do take a lot of effort to do. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. And yeah, make sure to comment and tell me what your favourite LEGO video game is, and we'll see you next time. Bye!